This One's Wife. Archie appears. But why now? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Not much has been seen of Archie for some time. There'll be those who say, well, that's not really a surprise, H.G., because he doesn't exist. Others will say, well, he does exist, but it is rather strange that we never see anything of him. Is there some kind of sinister reason for that? It's been well recorded, of course, that This One's Wife has travelled to a variety of places in the course of this year. She's been to Colombia, she's been to Nigeria, she's been to New York, she's been to Portugal, she's been to Whistler, and the children did not go with her and Harry. This, of course, causes people to cast doubt on the existence of the children or to query the parenting of the Sussexes because they spend so much time away from the children. We haven't seen anything of Archie for quite some time. Glances of him have been provided in the past when he's appeared in the Harry and This One's Wife's documentary, i.e. a carefully choreographed appearance, that he has popped up in occasional photographs, which again are carefully choreographed, but he's never been seen live, if you will. He's never been seen accompanying his parents at some event where it's recorded and photographed without the total control of This One's Wife. I've explained before that, in all likelihood, the children do exist, although there are question marks as to the process of how they came into the world. But in relation to why we don't see them very often, and certainly don't see them in a live situation, I've explained that there are two fundamental reasons behind that. The first, This One's Wife lacking emotional empathy isn't maternal, and therefore this lack of ability to deal with the children in that way would be demonstrative. Secondly, there would be so much attention on the children, it would detract from her, and as a narcissist, she simply cannot stand that. It's not something that she could tolerate, and therefore her narcissism essentially causes her to not want them to appear at anything, and does so under the auspices of protecting them, because her narcissism is protecting her, preventing her from having the distraction of her children, taking the valuable fuel away from her. And yet, despite all of this, despite the secrecy and the hiding and the never being seen, all of a sudden, Archie appears. Yes. But we have to ask the question, why now? First of all, what's the basis of his appearance? Well, it's reported by Scarlett O'Toole, writing for the Mirror. This One's Wife was seen laughing and smiling as she spent some one-on-one time with her son, Prince Archie. Has This One's Wife released some heartwarming footage of her recently frolicking with Master Archie? Again, she's done this in a carefully choreographed way, ensuring that she's shown in the best light, that she's utilising it to demonstrate her skills as a caring and doting mother. Remember, she regularly tells us, as a mom. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the Mirror tells us, have spent the holidays in America over the past few years. That is true. But they took a trip to Canada during the festive period in 2019. Okay, bringing up the past. Harry, This One's Wife, and Archie spent Thanksgiving and Christmas of that year in a secluded property on Vancouver Island. Footage from the trip showed Archie giggling as he played in the snow with his mum. The video was released as part of Harry and This One's Wife's Netflix docuseries. So that was released back in December 2022. In the adorable clip, This One's Wife was seen pulling her son along the snow in a red wooden cart as he enjoyed his first ever sleigh ride. Archie, who was just 6 at the time, no he wasn't, was wrapped up warmly in a mini Bowden Panda snowsuit. This One's Wife looked super stylish, wearing a hooded parka coat with black fitted jeans. She completed her look with a pair of brown boots and a black woolen hat, because after all, it's very important to know what she's wearing, or rather, they always describe what she's wearing for the purposes of padding it. Describing the Canada vacation, this one's wife said in the documentary, "I just loved being there. It was so peaceful. You could breathe for a minute." Shortly after the trip, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex announced their decision to step down from the royal family. The video of Archie and this one's wife has resurfaced after the Suits actress gave a glimpse into her plans for Christmas this year. And I've already spoken about that in the past, so I'm not going to waste my breath repeating it. Accordingly, it isn't Archie now. It isn't a sudden appearance of Archie at the moment, or Archie from a couple of days ago. Instead, he remains hidden. He remains unseen. And instead, it's seen fit to regurgitate a clip of this one's wife with Archie that was released 2 years ago in relation to an event that took place 5 years ago. Once again, Archie is almost missing. Never seen, never heard from, never presented, never seen live. And yet, this one's wife, once again, in order to present her doting facade management as a mom, has to ensure that she is seen using some footage from before. It is clear why this footage is reported on now. It's part of her continuing facade management, which is a residual benefit to the narcissist. It's part of seeking to assert control over the audience by telling us, "I am a really good mum. See?" Of course, she doesn't think, because it doesn't come naturally to her, that people are going to say, "This is years old. We've seen this before. So stop ramming old stuff down our throat." And moreover, and this is the collateral consequence again, people are likely to then ask this question: why aren't we seeing him now? And thus, once again, what does this one's wife do? In order to assert control and draw fuel and manage her facade, she has it that the PR machine pumps out something from the past. But the collateral consequence is, like nearly everything that she does, it backfires, because people are going to question, "Yep, that's old footage, but where is he now? Why do we never see him? Why do we never see him and his sister? Why are they never shown? Why do they never appear live?" And thus that just results in more challenging questions for her. But you might also ask, why is it that this one's wife has decided to ensure through the PR machine that we're reminded of her position as a doting mother? Why is this being released now? Well, you might think, could it be, for instance, that Prince Harry is gone and this is a form of hoover to try and make him feel guilty about the loss of the good times, the loss of the family unit? I would suggest not, because the necessary likelihood of him seeing it isn't guaranteed. She'd be more likely to ring him up and tell him, "Do you remember that time when we went out with Archie?" That's what you're missing, were she minded to try and draw him back in. Her narcissism is far more likely to cause her to adopt a direct approach to try and hoover him back into the relationship with her on the assumption that it's Harry that has departed. That direct route would be open to her because it's likely that she will have some form of communication with him. Thus, her narcissism will choose that as a more effective route rather than putting a PR puff piece out there in the expectation that it will pique Harry's curiosity and it will prick his conscience and cause him to miss what he once had. It's more likely that the reason this has been done now is because of the approach of Thanksgiving and Christmas. And this one's wife wants the world to know that she's a lovely mother that cares for her children because family are deemed as important at this time of year. And therefore, her PR machine wants to buy into that cosy family image by reinforcing the fact that that's what she is. And therefore, we're treated to an appearance of Archie from 5 years ago. Once again, she seeks to manipulate people using her child and bringing up the past. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.